go into Los Angeles. And there was a motel vacancy sign. It was a 2-story motel around the swimming pool. I later found out it was a Hollywood Landmark hotel. And I checked into my room, take a little acid, which is sort of what we all did then. Now here I am, high as a kite, loving the world. And I think I hear the girl being raped around the swimming pool. So I run downstairs to separate these two people, and the girl went crazy, punched me, because they were making love. They weren't fighting. And I've now been in LA for 24 hours. I've been beat up twice. This is not going well. I came down in the morning. I could hear that same voice of the girl, because I never saw her that night. She called me over and said, "Are you the guy I hit last night?" I said, "Yeah." And she was Janis Joplin. She introduced me to the guy she was sitting with, which was Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix said, "Are you Jewish?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "You should be a manager." I said, "Great, no problem. Who should I manage?" Alice Cooper.
That is, wow, where do we even begin?
That's what happened to me my first day in LA.
Yeah, okay. That was a scene from the new documentary, Supermensch, The Legend of Shep Gordon. And here with us now, the film's director, Mike Myers. Where do we begin? You're a director.
Let's
start there.
Let's start
Start with your
yes,
scarf.
that's my gift to you, actually
That's nice.
from Anfield.
This is unbelievable.
Joe, you can wear it.
Yes.
Put it on. Thank you
so happy to see a fellow Red.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Born
my
in-
parents are from Liverpool, England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Who
my
would've-
dad literally talked like the Beatles. People would knock on the door to hear him talk, and it'd be like, knowing I wasn't home, they would say, "Is Mike?" And he goes, "No, he's knocking about with some other fellow, actually." And they'd say, "Cool." That's how famous the Beatles were. So my dad's accent was
Oh, my
famous.
gosh.
And they say it. "It's been a hard day's night." so I've been
so
a lifelong
cool.
Liverpool fan.
Man,
We had no
thank you
idea.
so much. We
Not
really
at all.
appreciate
It's
it.
a nice scarf.
Can I say one other thing, too?
Yeah, please.
Both my parents fought in World War II. My mom was in the Royal Air Force, and my dad was in the Royal Engineers. So when you see those movies with the Perspex covered map of England with the ladies with the baccarat sticks, and it's like Jerry over Norfolk, scrambled Biggin Hill. My mom was one of those ladies.
Really?
My dad was in the second wave of Market Garden
And
with the Royal Engineers.
And they were so they were living in Liverpool when the war broke out?
Yes, and then they enlisted, both lied about their age, and fought for Britain against fascism. And this is the things that we talked about at my dinner table was keeping fascism at bay, which I thought everybody's family talks about.
Right,
these
well, it
days.
was absolutely
Wow.
unbelievable. John Meacham and I were talking about 1940 and what an extraordinary.
They're the best generation.
pivotal year.
The World War II people
how-
are the best generation, hands down. I give it up. I have the love and the respect.
We were,
Well,
talking
if it
about,
hadn't been.
we were talking about D-Day today, and obviously on the 70th anniversary, and talking about how much we owe to the people that stormed the beaches of Normandy, but also we're talking about Churchill was right. 1940, people like
Yeah.
your parents, that
What is it,
was
if
their
you-
finest hour.
If you appease, you sit on the back of a tiger with a bag of meat, and when you run out of the bag of meat, you become the meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Churchill was a big hero in our house, and
Well, if it hadn't been for the English and the British in 1940, D-Day wouldn't have been a relevant factor.
yeah.
If-
And for Canada, because I'm also Canadian,
Right.
we had First Canadian Army Group out of Juneau, because it was Utah Omaha Gold Juneau Sword, right?
Right.
And we advanced the farthest of all of the beaches on the first day.
And can I say that's what every Canadian told me 10 years ago?
Yes, of course.
When I was there.
Yeah.
How
You're like a
cool and
Canadian
interesting
Michael
is Mike
Beschloss.
Myers? Seriously.
You know,
I think so.
You are.
Thank
I
you.
promise.
so
That's
this
the
is.
second time today. Somebody owes me $5 because I knew you were going to say that.
I need to, you know, so let's go. This is one of the smoothest transitions in the history of Morning Joe.
Sure.
Let's go from D-Day to Superman.
Sure, of course.
You
It
could
is
do
a
it.
logical step.
I met Shep Gordon on the set of Wayne's World in 1991. He was Alice Cooper's manager. I'd never been in a film, let alone written and like being a guy in the film. And Lorne Michaels said, "There's a problem with Alice Cooper. You have to talk to his manager." And I was like, "Okay." I never met a manager before, and I was a punk rocker. Shep Gordon comes in. He has, you know, he's bald but with a ponytail and a satin tour jacket, and I'm a punk rocker, and I'm like, "Oh, really?" And he said, "I said I want 18, and school's out." And he said, "How about something from the new album?"
No.
And I said, "How about no?" And he said, "You know, have you heard the song? It's a great song." And I heard it and I liked it. And he said, "I also happen to know that Alice is only on stage for 8 seconds, and if we put Schools Out in the end credits, everyone's going to think that's the song." And he was right.
Yeah.
And I just thought, you're probably right. He was the most reasonable human being I'd met. I completely misjudged him.
Wow.
We've been friends for 20 years, and I've been begging him every year, please let me make a documentary about you.
Wow.
Because that's what I thought I was going to be as a documentarian. And then I got hired for Second City. I was going to go to York University in Toronto, fine arts film.
Right.
Even film studies. I didn't take film production. And I got hired for Second City on my last day of high school. I thought I was going to be Cassavetes. I thought I was going to create a Canadian neo-realist movement.
That's what the world
A lot of
needed
people,
at
a
the
lot of people
time.
aspire to that.
Yes,
exactly.
Well, I do if you're Canadian.
Yeah,
but-
so this guy, though,
yeah.
he lives the Forrest Gump life. He goes out to L.A., and he stumbles onto Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix in the act his first night.
He went to University of Buffalo. He another generation that I admire is I don't think they get the love. I don't think the hippies get the love. Definitely a hippie. He got a degree in social work, and he had a choice between being a parole officer or a social worker. He thought, I'll go and we'll hug it out. He got a job in Los Angeles. He decided, you know what, let's have a softball game, right? All the other guards looked at the hippie with the long hair and said, that's a great idea. So he bought with his own money gloves, balls, and a bat. The guards took off on cue. All the inmates beat the crap out of them with the bat. And they said, "You're starting to get it? Watch around here, hippie." But he's an ethical hedonist. He's a progressive capitalist. Yeah. He's literally the most kindest and nicest person. And I just wanted to make a film for two things. For this, I have two kids now. I just had my second kid 8 weeks ago. So
congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
so great.
Fantastic.
God.
I thought it was going to be good. I didn't know it was going to be this good.
It's amazing.
And I started later in life, and it's it's the happiest time of my life. These kids are fantastic. And it's around that time that I thought I wanted to get the message out there that fame is not the end of what you should do. Creativity is it, which I've always felt. I always make things. And in many ways, fame is the industrial disease of creativity. And if you don't pay attention, it can actually have reproductive harm. And that's really kind of the point of this film. And there's a way to make a lovely living in this business and still be a human being. His contracts are all win-win contracts, Shep. And
That's great.
I just want that message out for people.
Wonderful.
Why did he resist, and how did you convince him?
He's modest. I hounded him. When I get fixated on something, I'm a force of nature. And he got sick, and I caught him at a vulnerable moment. I think he was medicated when he said yes, but I'll take it.
He said, "Here, sign this."
Well, 2 weeks into it, literally his intestines exploded. He had the heart attack of the intestines.
Oh.
And because my parents are from Liverpool, and it's the house we have, gallows humor. I turned to my wife and I said, well, we have our ending.
Oh my God.
He survived it, which is great for the film. He's a great guy. I mean, I just want that message out
The
there.
film looks really great and beautifully done.
Thank you.
And you're so interesting, I'm going to forgive you for ordering a Coke. Jen, is that his Coke? Oh.
He needs it.
It's
Who orders a real Coke? I don't get it.
Somebody who grew up in ironically Scarborough.
Scarborough, right.
And I used to call myself, no, look at me, I'm just Joe Scarborough.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's
Just
good.
go
And
there,
there's,
Ellen.
there's a guy named Joe Scarborough on TV. I go, get out of town. So
It's an horrible
All right.
thing.
Well,
Here you
cheers.
go, to
Bottoms
real
up.
Coke.
That's pure sugar.
couldn't be happier.
It's very bad for you.
It is very bad for me. I only do it when I get up very, very early in the morning.
Fair enough.
Very early. Well, this is very exciting. Very exciting to have you. We just have to ask you, do you have a favorite movie, a favorite project that you've been involved in where maybe it wasn't the one that brought you the most fame, but something that you've done that you're the most proud of?
I was in a movie called 54. I got to play Steve Rubell.
Right.
Yeah.
A fascinating character. How I knew I could play him was that he used to guard the door at 54, and if people weren't beautiful, they couldn't come in. And they said, would you let yourself in? And he said, oh, of course not. And I went, I can play that.
Oh, very cool.
That definitely.
Sounds like your
that.
favorite production might have happened along with the first one 8 weeks ago.
Well,
Yes.
Oh no, it's
Definitely.
And how old's your older child?
2.5, Spike.
Oh, my God.
My dad's name is a common Liverpool name, Spike.
No, are they?
My dad was the biggest Liverpool fan in the world.
Does
and I
Spike-
tried to get his ashes buried in Anfield, but it's a very long process. But he's
Okay.
buried in the Mersey River.
Mike Myers is going to be on a stamp in Canada.
Yes.
Are you really?
I am.
Whoa.
Yes.
Oh, look
What?
at that. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Really, you have a storied career.
That is cool.
All right, enjoy that Coke. Supermensch is out in theaters today in New York and Los
it's
Angeles.
exciting. So sorry
It's okay. It's okay. It's fine.
That's the biggest faux pas you
Very
could have had.
angry.
No, seriously.
Could have a donut.
Like,
Just
I
weird.
was going to wear a fur coat.
It's out in theaters nationwide on July 18th.
Today, in fact.
Oh,
it
what?
is today, June 6th, D-Day. It is in the theaters.
Oh, well, there
love
you
it.
go.
Yeah,
there you go. Go now.
Mike
Fantastic.
Myers, thank you very much. We'll be back with more Morning Joe in just a moment. Great to meet you.
Nice guy.